So by now, you guys are all probably well aware that Grand Theft Auto 6 is delayed. It's now going to be coming out on May 26, 2026, instead of fall 2025. And it looks like Rockstar Games, at least behind the scenes, knew this was going to happen months ago. And of course, the announcement was just made a couple of hours ago. We'll be talking about what's going on and more on this video today. So this report comes from Jason Schreier. We've mentioned him a ton on the channel. He's one of the most reputable and well-known video game journalists and insiders. He has had several news stories of breaking GTA 6 info in the past. And after the announcement, he had this to say on his social media page. Nobody I've talked to at Rockstar has believed fall 2025 was a real window for a very long time now. Too much work, not enough time, and what appears to be a real desire from management to avoid brutal crunch. Grand Theft Auto 6 slipping into 2026 has seemed inevitable for months, if not longer. And that is a loaded post on social media because it seems like behind the scenes, at least whoever Jason Schreier was talking to at Rockstar, which we're not going to know who they are. We don't know if they are responsible for sweeping the floors or if they're responsible for building the interiors of cars or buildings or whether it's the main guy at the top. We don't know, but at least according to the individuals he's talked to, which seems to be plural, no one believed that fall 2025 was going to stick. And this is the polar opposite of what we had heard from Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick. Now, obviously, they just had to go based on, number one, what he believed, which is the fact that he obviously hoped it would stay in fall 2025, but also what he could publicly say. Since Rockstar hadn't made an announcement, there was only so much he could say, but for the last year or so, and certainly over the last couple of recent months, he's been saying that it's very likely going to stay and that he has a good feeling about it staying in 2025, even though there is a chance of slippage. Well, that slippage did occur, and it seems like even behind closed doors, people at Rockstar Games knew that this was going to happen months, if not longer. And it just makes you wonder why Rockstar waited until now in order to reveal this information. And I think I can safely say it has something to do with Take-Two Interactive's earnings call, which is set to occur in just a few days on May 15th, where they would have been forced to update their pipeline on GTA 6. So their hand was kind of forced here, which is probably why they waited so long. And the reason for the delay, too much work, not enough time. And the last bit, a desire from management, which is a good thing, to avoid brutal crunch. And this is something that Rockstar Games suffered from back when they were developing Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5. This is essentially like the weeks and months leading up to a game coming out where they would make their employees work incredibly long hours, and it was just not a good lifestyle. And this is something that was reported on years after Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and Rockstar said that they would actively work on that, and it seems like they're staying true to their word here. And it seems like Jason Schreier might have actually been hinting at this, even though he technically couldn't say, hey, a delay is inbound. You guys might remember an article that he put out back in January, a Bloomberg gaming newsletter, where he had this to say about Grand Theft Auto 6. GTA 6 won't make it. Publisher Take-Two Interactive Software Inc. has said that the most anticipated game of all time is on track for a fall 2025 release, but companies say a lot of things. The next Grand Theft Auto is a huge and ambitious game. The pressure to make it great is inordinate, and developer Rockstar Games has vowed to avoid forcing excessive overtime during the final months of development. I expect that it will slip to 2026. That was his prediction back in January. It wouldn't be shocking if that's when he started to heard rumblings about Grand Theft Auto 6 not feeling good about fall 2025 from whatever his sources are at Rockstar Games. Now, we did get a little bit more follow-up from Jason, who ended up responding to someone that said, frankly, I do not buy for a second that Rockstar is trying to avoid crunch. And he said, skepticism is always healthy, but I've been keeping tabs on this for years, since my big 2018 story about Red Dead Redemption 2's crunch. They certainly haven't eliminated all overtime, but everyone I've talked to at Rockstar says it's night and day from previous projects. If that changes, I'll report on it. So that's Jason essentially confirming that Rockstar seems to be staying to their word, changing their work practices, and The only downside to that is it might mean it's going to take a little bit longer for Grand Theft Auto 6 to get here. Now, instead of fall, being delayed anywhere from 5 to 7 months, depending on when it would have come out this fall, to May 26th, 2026. Now, while Rockstar Games has not said any more publicly, we have heard from some current and former Rockstar Games developers. Obviously, lots of people have had opinions on this entire thing. We heard from Obi Vermeij, who we just talked about earlier in the week when he was discussing that he doesn't think Rockstar should do another trailer for the game. He said, bummer. The good news is that they are clearly confident they are going to make May. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given a date. And you guys might recall that Rockstar did things a little bit differently when they delayed Red Dead Redemption 2. Remember, they originally said, hey, it was coming out in, fall of 2017. Then they delayed it to spring 2018, within its ultimate release date coming out on like October 26, 2018, which is where it stayed. So the fact that they've given an exact date, to me, is a good sign that it's likely the last date Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have and that they will be able to make it. I would have been more worried if they had just said, hey, it's coming in spring 2026. I would have said, oh boy, that's probably not going to stay. But the fact that they've given us an exact date, which is rare for Rockstar, is actually good news in this situation. And of course, we also heard from some current Rockstar Games employees and developers, like, for example, Chloe, who is a senior VFX artist at Rockstar Games. She posted like 3 praying hands emojis, or I'm not even exactly sure what that's supposed to mean, but she reposted it, showing her, I guess, support for Rockstar, the company that she ultimately works for. We also heard from Ariana, who is an associate game designer at Rockstar Games, and she ended up posting another emoji. It's kind of like a sigh or relief face. I'm not sure what all these emojis mean, but you get the idea that the developers are just throwing like almost acknowledgments out there that they understand, or, they know what's going on and now they can finally express themselves. And we also heard from Kyle, who is a mission designer at Rockstar North, who did the exact same emoji as earlier, just sort of like the praying hands together emoji. Again, I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to mean. If you guys are more in tune with emojis and their meaning, please feel free to let me know in those comments down below. So if this release date of May 26th and 2026 sticks, it'll be 904 days since Rockstar Games mentioned Grand Theft Auto 6 for the first time to when it finally arrives. 904 days from December 4th, 2023 to May 26th, 2026. That seems insane, but it is slowly becoming the reality that we're now living in. Now that Rockstar's confirmed their release date, hopefully the marketing period will begin, which could mean new screenshots, a second trailer, information on the game. That's what I'm looking forward to, and hopefully Rockstar starts that process soon. But anyways, I know there was a lot to discuss in this video, and I know it will be a very discussion-heavy comment section, so let me know how you guys are feeling down there. I'd love to hear from everyone on what their thoughts and opinions are. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.